This breathing practice will focus our attention on the back of our body, and it's with the idea that where our attention goes, energy flows. So if we draw our attention, we place our hands on the back of our body, then we're more likely to be able to breathe into those areas. And there's just as much lung space, if not more lung space, in the back of our body, sides of our body, as there is in the front. But we live in the front, don't we? So it's very unusual for us to ever think about breathing into the back of our body. That's why it's quite beneficial to try to do this. So you can sit up, you can, as long as you're comfortable, you can sit on a chair or sit on a block, or you can come to lie down. If you lie down, I would say keep the soles of your feet flat to the floor so your knees are bent. That relaxes the abdominal muscles, and when the abdominal muscles relax, diaphragm muscle relaxes, and you're more likely to be able to breathe more deeply with less effort. So choosing which position you'd like to be in, and settle yourself down. Maybe roll the shoulders a few times, move your jaw, and if you're okay to close your eyes, close your eyes. Placing your hands onto the belly, so below the navel, quite low on the belly. And just focusing there on the sensations of your hands touching your abdominal area. And when you breathe in, direct the breath into the hands, and as you breathe in, the belly rises. As you breathe out, the belly falls. And if that doesn't, if something else happens, just imagine this feeling of the breath coming into the body, filling up the lungs, diaphragm moves down, abdominal muscles rise. And as you breathe out, lungs empty, diaphragm muscle moves up, abdominal muscles sink. So on the in-breath, the belly rises, and on the out-breath, the belly falls. And being aware that you're breathing into the front of your body, your hands are resting on the front. There's just as much lung space in the sides as well as the back. So if we can, if it's okay with your arms, if you can place your hands underneath you, sort of around the lower back. If you think where your hands were at the front, just placing them there behind, palms facing down. And you can use one hand, and if it's too uncomfortable for your hands or arms or shoulders, then just imagine that your hands are there. And when you breathe in, direct the breath into the back of the body, into the hands resting behind. And you breathe out. And you breathe into the back of the body where the hands are resting. And you might feel that when you're breathing in, back of the body sinks or compresses a little bit into the hands. And as you breathe out, just notice how it feels lighter, more spacious, empty. And you breathe into the back of the body, directing your attention 1 or 2 breaths there. And slipping the hands away, letting the hands rest down by your side. Just spend a moment or so feeling how that is in the lower body. Front of the belly, sides, back. Does it feel a little bit more responsive to the breath or awareness? And then bring your hands onto the ribs, the right hand resting on the lower rib, left hand resting on the lower left rib. And just get that sense of where that part of your body is as you breathe. And when you breathe in, can you feel that area rising, expanding? And the richest blood supply of our lungs is in the lower lobes of the lungs. So when we train ourselves, or when we practice in this way to breathe quite low, we really are helping oxygen be dispersed around our body just to its optimum with less effort. And then see, is it possible to take your hands round the back? So the palms will be facing down. And you can do one hand, or if it's impossible, to do 2. Just imagine the hands are there, and when you breathe into the back of the body where the hands are resting, the back of the body. And as you breathe out, you let go of the breath. And can you just feel the emptying of the lungs in the back of the body? When you breathe in, can you feel that slight heaviness or compression downwards or outwards? And as you breathe out, you feel that emptying, that letting go. And feeling, perhaps working with that idea of spaciousness inside our body as you breathe in, as you breathe out. And feeling the back of your body. And slipping the hands away when you're ready. You can take the arms down by your side, palms facing up if that's okay. And now when you breathe in, is your attention more easily directed into the back of the body, the back of the ribs, even the back of the shoulders, the lower back. And feeling as you breathe in, the slight movement downwards of the back of the ribs, slight movement downwards into the mat or outwards of the lower back. And all your attention is directed into the back of your body. And because our breath is very generous and our imagination can be quite strong, if you take your attention to the back of your head, the curve of the skull, and when you breathe in, direct the breath into the back of the head. And imagine the skull widening, expanding, filling up. And then as you breathe out, imagine space inside the head as the breath leaves. And you breathe into the back of your head and the back of the body. And your attention is everything. And when you let the breath go, just imagine or feel that space inside. And as you breathe, know that you don't have to hold on to your breath. You don't have to take a breath. The breath is freely given to you, and you freely give it back. And perhaps there's just that possibility that you can feel the breath in the back of your body, the back of your head, the shoulders, the chest, back. And you breathe with an awareness of this, your breath, your body. And now see, as you breathe, where do you feel the breath? You might still feel the breath in the belly at the front, the ribs at the front, but you might also have that possibility of feeling the breath in the back of your body. And it's not easy to do. Maybe just for a moment focus on the lower back ribs. And feel the breath in the lower back ribs. And on each out breath, just let your body rest a little bit deeper. And notice if your mind becomes a little bit quieter. And if your mind wanders, you know it's okay, you bring it back. And perhaps you can notice that your breath has become a little bit deeper, a little bit quieter, a little bit easier. So you feel the breath in the back of your body. And you notice where you feel it, and there's no right or wrong. Notice where you like your attention to land, and breathe. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. If you're sitting, focusing downwards. If you're lying down, just seeing the ceiling above. Starting to move in your own time. Taking your time, keeping slow, quiet, aware. And thank you for joining me.